When reading, if your child still struggles with the long and short vowels and can't tell the difference between bit and bite and hat and hate and pad and paid, then this video's for you. Today, I'm sharing my kinesthetic methods that will allow you to lock in the long and short vowels for your dyslexic, ADHD, APD, or ASD reader. You're also going to be able to print out my 264 word list that has all the long and short vowels on it, so you'll be able to use that running these drills. And stay tuned, because you're going to learn why the methods most schools use to teach the long and short vowels fail neurodiverse children. First, let's watch a mom use part of my methodology to teach her child that has dyslexia and auditory processing disorder the long A sound. On the other side of this clip, I'll tell you why this method works so well.
A letter E goes A, like make and say.
A letter E goes A, like make and sake.
A letter E goes A, like wake and bake.
A letter E goes A, like wake and bake.
Do you see why this is so much better than teaching your hyper child rules? The motion is matched with the sound. That's called the karate chop. The karate chop lengthens the sound. The motion forces your child's brain to recognize the A is long. We call it the long A, but when they look at it, it just looks like an A. But if we call it A letter E, because that E changes the A, they can remember that. Then if they put the motion with it, the motion is matched with the lengthening of the sound. I teach this to parents in my course, and you'll find a link to it below. And many parents email me and let me know, their child's been struggling with the long and short vowels for years, and within a matter of weeks, they lock them in because A with an E goes A, and it makes the word make and not mac. It's really amazing how that motion helps the child memorize the E changes the A. Or, it works for all of them. So way, the Y changes the A from wah to way. And I want you to see how the child is interacting with that word list as he's saying these things. So the next clip will show you what their fingers are doing and what their eyes are looking at as they're going make.
A letter E goes A, like cade and break.
A letter E goes A, like cade and break.
As you can see, the child's doing the karate chop motion, and then he's touching directly under each word he's reading. Physical touch is important. I could do an hour on that alone, but I don't have the time. But he's touching directly under each word. That tells us his eyes are looking at what we want him to be looking at. So many neurodiverse children just don't do this. I remember I couldn't read. I stayed back in third grade because I couldn't read. I have dyslexia and APD. And I would just kind of point my face at the paper and say the words just to make the people go away. And I find this over and over with neurodiverse children. They're not truly visually processing what they're supposed to be visually processing, but they can't fake touch, right? They've got to point right under the word in this drill. That tells you that they're processing the word, which is just above the child's finger, which is great. So when he's saying break, A with an E goes A, he makes the motion. He's teaching his brain the motion. That E makes the A go A. Then his fingers under break, and he's saying break, not brack, but break, as he's looking at these things we call letters, which make sounds. And I know this sounds silly, but they can't learn to read if they're not looking at the right parts of the word, and this pointing shows us they're looking where they're supposed to be looking. Next, let's see how we further use interaction to lock in these A and E sounds. And of course, this works for A and I, A with Y, O with A, U letter E, all of them, right? We're going to use highlighting and interaction, and I call it coding. We want your child to code, and it's a word I use. It's basically long-term memorization. So when he sees these sounds a day, an hour, 2 years from now, he knows what they are. Watch this.
Take, take, take. Take,
Oh,
take. Snake, snake, snake.
cade.
Cade, cade.
Directions to print out this word list are in the descriptions below. Now, what you're seeing is a child highlighting the vowels, but not the letter in between. This is so cool because they're looking at, in this example, snake. He's going snake. He's highlighting the A, picking up, going past the K, highlighting the E. This is showing his brain what these letters do as he's exaggerating, and we use exaggerating a lot. He's going snake, and he's highlighting, and the highlighting reinforces the phonics concept. With children that are neurodiverse, interaction is key. And now I want to talk to you about what I mentioned earlier, how the schools do it so wrong and how it impacts neurodiverse children. What the schools do is they teach the short vowels first. Consonant, vowel, consonant words. So they teach A, E, I, O, U and the short sound for a year, right? Most times in kindergarten or first grade. So A by itself goes ah, like hat. And a year later, they say, oh, by the way, if you put an I after the A, it goes A, like paid. So for a year, they're taught one sound that A makes, and then they learn a whole nother sound. Or O by itself goes ah, right? Like got, and O, a year later, if there's an A after the O, it goes O, like goat. Think about how weird this is, especially for autistic children that are so literal. The letter that changes the sound of the vowel comes after, right? The vowel. That's weird. So for neurodiverse children, this is really hard to deal with. But why, Keith? Because a lot of neurodiverse children have impaired executive function. And there's a link between dyslexia and impaired executive function. Executive function is made up of working memory, mental flexibility, and emotional control. And children with dyslexia, ADHD, and other labels have impaired working memory, mental flexibility, and emotional control. We're going to look at mental flexibility now. Why does this matter? Because this little kid's sitting there and he learns the letter makes one sound for a year. And then he learns it makes another sound. Not a big deal for most kids. But for dyslexic kids and kids with other challenges, it is a big deal because it's hard for them to flex. It's hard for them to change their mind about the letter. Think about it this way. Your child has a hard time putting the Legos down and transitioning to soccer. That's mental flexibility. Or have you ever sold your child something and then you change it, but they can't change? Hey, we're going to grandma's on Saturday at 9. Okay, and then a little while later, we can't go on Saturday. But for days, your child is like, when are we going to grandma's? They're not flexing. Their little ADHD dyslexic brains are stuck on their short vowel sounds the schools taught them for one whole year before introducing anything else. That's why they look at said and say sad, look at cute and say cut. Therefore, when you teach these sounds, you've got to teach them at the same time. You can't teach just long sounds, but not short sounds. You can't teach just the short sounds, but not the long sounds. It messes our little heads up, man. But if you teach the long and short vowels the way you're about to see, it will change everything. You're going to compare the short and long sounds at the same time. Watch this clip, and on the other side, I'll show you exactly how to run this drill for all the long and short vowels.
A by itself goes at, like had and sad.
A by itself goes ah, like had and sad.
A with an I goes a, like braid and laid.
A with the I goes a, like braid and wade.
Laid.
Go to descriptions and print out this word list. Staple it in the upper left-hand corner so you can flip back and forth between the long and short vowels. You've got to compare and contrast to fix them in your child's little ADHD, dyslexic, mentally inflexible brain. How are you going to do that? You're going to go A by itself goes ah, like fat, and at. Then you're going to flip. A with an I goes A, like sail and ale. Little child sitting next to you. A with an I goes A, like sail and ale. You flip back and forth. E by itself goes eh, like lead and fed. Little child, E by itself goes eh, like lead and fed. Because we always exaggerate the shortness when we do the short vowel eh, eh. Then you flip. E with an E goes E, like feed and peak. Of course, your child does the same thing. You're making sure that their eyes are where they're supposed to be, their fingers where they're supposed to be. They're exaggerating the length if they're on a long vowel, or they're exaggerating the shortness if they're on a short vowel. I by itself goes eh, like tin and fin. Then the child does it. You watch their eyes to make sure they're on target and they're pointing exactly where they're pointing, and you're listening for the proper sound. Then you flip. I with an E goes I, like hide and wide. And you might think, well, I don't know what all these vowels do, Keith. Yes, you do. Just say the word. For example, cut, you can hear the U going, Cute, you can hear the U going, you. You can hear that long U. You can do this. This is so worth it. The long and short vowels are foundational. Your child will never read fluently if they don't have them locked in to the point that they don't have to think about them anymore. This drill will do that for you. Always remember that highlighting follow-up. Introduce them, not all at once, but start, for example, with A and then A letter E. You get that down after a couple days, you keep adding vowels. You need to do this because the school has not, and they will not, if they have not figured out that dyslexic children need to contrast the long and short vowels at the same time. They need to interact, they need to touch, they need to be engaged. If they haven't figured that out, it's up to you. You can do this. If you have any questions at all about this drill, please ask them in the comment section. I will answer them. You can find a link to my program, No Fear Reading, in the descriptions below. If you can give it 15 minutes a day, we can get your child to grade level in reading. And if your child is struggling at school, have them watch this video. It's from my heart to theirs, and I hope it will uplift them. Please share this video with any parent you feel it may help, and subscribe. I've got a lot more coming out on how you can help your neurodiverse child be successful at school.